Welcome to Breckenridge Brewery. I'm Jody Peterson. I'm going to take you on a tour today. Let's go inside. Behind me are 6 base grain silos. They hold all of our necessary malts and grains for the brewing process. Fun fact, it takes about 2 semi-trucks to fill up one of these silos, and they're going to feed all of our malts and grains into the mill room. Each one of these silos holds a different base grain for brewing. At any time, if we need to pull one of those in, we can actually use one of these conveyor belts specifically for that grain and bring it into the mill room. So it's a very automated, yet detailed and efficient process. This is the mill room. This is where it truly starts. Outside, we saw those silos. Those are going to bring in our base grains up to the mill room. That mill room is going to use 3 different sets of grinders and filters to grind up those base grains and send them into our grist case, which is right behind me. We're also going to add specialty malts and oats. Those are going to go above us into a filter, back into the grist case. Once all of that is finished, we're going to take it all the way up, back into those conveyor belts where it's going to go to our Mashtun. We're upstairs now, about to enter the brew house. Come on in, I'll show you around. And this is our Mashtun. What we're doing is we're taking our grist that we had in the mill room, we're gonna introduce it to some really hot water, about 150, 170 degrees, and we're gonna turn our starches into fermentable sugars. Next step in our brewing process, we're going to head on over to the lauter tun. In this tun, we have a false bottom. This allows for a process called sparging. What that is putting really hot water on a grain bed, and we're going to get some really good flavors and colors once we rinse that. And that liquid at the bottom is called wort, and that's going to carry throughout the process. From the lauter tun, we're going to move over to the brew kettle. This process, we're really going to turn up the heat. About 210 degrees or right underneath boiling point. What's happening here is we're going to add all the different flavors and hops, which are key for brewing.
Underneath the brew kettle is where we add our adjunct ingredients, including agave nectar, mango puree, as well as vanilla for our vanilla porter.
All these different flavors we're going to add into this brew kettle, turn up the heat, and kind of mix it for about 1.5 to 2 hours. Because there's so much heat, what we're going to include is our vapor condenser, which is right above me. This vapor condenser can trap in all the vapor, all that heat, and we're going to be able to reuse that steam for different brewing cycles and cleaning cycles. It's pretty cool. And this is one of the last steps in the brewing process. This is called the Whirlpool. What we're doing here is getting all of our wort that now has the hops, the flavors. We're going to put it in this tank, and we're going to spin it really, really fast, like a washing machine on spin cycle. We're going to use that centrifugal force to filter out any excess particles that we don't need, and then we're going to cool it down as it goes off to fermentation.
And this is our vapor condenser. It allows us to save 1,500 gallons of water a day. All we're doing is we're gonna take that hot steam that comes off the brew kettle, we're gonna spray it with cold water shower heads. That cold water is gonna take that steam back to its original water form. We can then reclaim that water in our energy recovery tank and use that water for brew cycles, cleaning cycles, anything that we would need hot water for in the brewery. And we're not even wasting energy heating that water back up because it already is hot from the brew kettle. So what we're doing is we're trapping that steam. We're also able to trap in about 90% of that aroma. And this makes it a very valuable, sustainable resource for the brewery.
And these are liquor cabinets. They're going to store hot and cold water that's been filtered through activated carbon. We get all of our water through the Denver water system. If we're brewing our Hop Peak IPA, we're going to use this right behind us. It's called the Hop Back. What we're doing is we're throwing in whole cone hops, flour and all, and then we're going to steep the wort, getting us a lot of those aromas, but kind of taking out some of those bitterness aftertaste that we don't need anymore. Once the brewing process is completely finished, we're going to send it through our heat exchanger. That's going to do a lot of hard work for us. We're going to have to cool our wort down to about 55, 60 degrees from about 200 degrees. So we're going to move our wort very quickly, about 50 to 60 gallons a minute. It's going to move across that bridge and head into Fermentation Alley. As we walk across this bridge, these pipes beneath us carry our wort all the way over to Fermentation Alley. Let's go. Welcome to Fermentation Alley. There are 16 400-barrel fermenters. 1 barrel of beer is 31 gallons, so if I'm doing my math correctly, there are 99,200 pints of beer in one of those fermenters. And this is our quality control lab. Our lab technicians are going to test for various attributes in our beer, including alcohol by volume. They're also going to test for our yeast strains. That's very important too, because without that, we wouldn't have healthy beer. This is our barrel aging room. It can hold up to 300 barrels. We get our barrels from a barrel broker, which means we can get one from anywhere in the world. These limited edition beers rest between 3 to 6 months. During that time, our team needs to check and taste to make sure it's going exactly the way they want. And when that's finished, we get to enjoy our special edition barrel aged products. I can't wait. During a typical month, our beer takes about 2 to 3 weeks to ferment. Once it's finished, we're going to send it through a centrifuge, and then we're going to store it in one of these bright tanks. In January of 2020, we have a new addition to our family. It's a high-pressure bright tank. It's going to allow us to add 400 barrels more of innovative series like our Velvet series, which you can totally check out. And this is our production facility. It was designed by partners including Steinecker Krones and KHS. Let's take a closer look. Our canning line has 28 fill heads that produce 250 cans per minute, as well as 160 nitro cans per minute. Our bottling line has 45 fill heads that produce 300 12-ounce bottles per minute, as well as 120 to 150 22-ounce bombers per minute. Our kegging machine has a clean in place system that allows us to ensure a clean fill for every keg, and we can actually fill up to 60 kegs per hour. And this is our warehouse. To be extra prepared, we keep most of our brew supplies right here. Thanks for going on a tour with us. I can't wait to see you guys soon. Cheers. And the next stop on the tour is, what? Oh my, that's awesome. That is amazing. You never know what you're gonna find at the brewery.
No, you go straight up.
And in case you were wondering, this is an Erlenmeyer flask. Ready? Oh! That is so awesome.